up, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Talkoffame podcast. I can't explain how excited I am for today's episode. I've been following her work probably since the pandemic started in 2020, and I'm super excited to spotlight her on today's episode. So today, I'm introducing you to Caitlin Hendricks. Caitlin is born and raised in Chicago. She's a diehard sports fan who eats, sleeps, and breathes Chicago sports. She has been working in social media for about 10 years and has worked in just about every aspect of it, from concepting and writing to filming and editing to making content. But she often says being on camera is her passion and she loves bringing energy and charisma to the screen. And in addition to the on-camera experience, she has experience in pre and post-production, videography, video editing, and script writing. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for joining us on today's episode. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
So to start off, as many people know, you are a diehard Chicago sports fan, especially the Cubs, which, I have
Yeah.
a lot to say about the Cubs over the last couple of years, but were you always a sports fan since you were young?
I grew up with four brothers and we're all pretty close in age. So not liking sports was just not an option in my family.
Mm.
And, we all played sports growing up. I played basketball and softball. My brothers, same thing. I had one brother who played tennis, so he was the outlier, but we all played sports. We all watched sports, loved going to games growing up with our family. So yeah, sports have been huge in my life since, the womb.
Yeah, that's literally the same here on my end. I literally grew up at a baseball stadium. My
Hmm.
family's a diehard sports fans, like baseball, basketball, football, you name it. My
Yep.
whole family plays sports, including me. I was kind of, was put into sports in my childhood because that's kind of what our family was. And all my life, I grew up with two brothers and a sister, and my twin brother plays baseball. So, of
Oh,
course,
cool. You're a
growing up at
twin.
baseball, I'm just like, I might as well love it because, of course, my family loves it. If I don't, then I kind of have to.
I
But
love that.
like, how do you think, of course, with being a Cubs fan, like, how do you think the Cubs will do this upcoming season? I know I have tons of thoughts about this one, but what do you think about this one of how the Cubs will do this season?
I think we're going to have a solid season. Do I think that we're going to win the World Series? Not necessarily, but I think that we have some good bones right now. And I think that that's something that I could see hopefully in the near future. But I definitely think we have a good shot at NL Central.
Mhm.
I feel like Cardinals are still, kind of stinky poo-poos. And then Brewers are always great, but they always tend to like choke when it comes to postseason. And something always happens with them. And then the Reds and Pirates, it's like, who really knows how they're going to do. They kind of
Mhm.
decide to surprise people and be good, but then they also tend to be bad.
Yeah, like I
So
know
I
I
think,
saw a video on the Cubs and Pirates, and it want a video like I forget who it was. It was a while back, but it said
mhm,
that the Pirates will make it to the postseason. I'm like, that's crap. They're not making it to the
I
postseason.
don't think
Like you
so.
can
I
see
think the
them
Cubs have a better
last
shot.
years. I know the Cubs will most likely have a shot since he kind of almost got to the postseason last year, right? Like one
I
game or
know.
something. So
I
I'm
know that was
sure with
heartbreaking.
all the new additions this year, they'll definitely make it. Well, I
I
don't know
hope
if it's
so.
the World Series though, but it's good. At least a
Yeah,
playoff shot at least works
for
something.
sure. For sure. And maybe we'll get lucky and,
And
and
plus,
actually get
with
that World
Cody
Series.
Bellinger coming back, that is such
Hmm.
a big win for the Cubs. And of
Yep.
course, the Dodger fan absolutely hurts. I know because a
Yes,
lot of
yes, I'm
Dodger
sorry.
fans love Cody Bellinger. And so that one kind of hurts, but at least he's closer to where I live in Pennsylvania. So that's always
Yep.
always a plus. But seeing him as a Cub is not as same as seeing him in Dodger blue.
They're pretty similar blues. So,
Hmm.
at least you got that. But I love seeing Cody and Cubby Blue. I
I
do.
know
I
he
can't lie.
does look pretty good in blue, Cubs blue,
Yeah. It's
or
his
any
color.
blue in general. He looks pretty good though.
True.
Honestly.
True.
But do you think like signing Cody Bellinger for the Cubs is a win or a loss for the Cubs? Because
I
I know
definitely think it's a
kind of
win.
had
It's
like offs and wins
yeah.
the last couple of like years.
I definitely think it's a win for this season, especially if he has a season like he had last year. Like it's absolutely a win. I see
Mhm.
belly bombs in our near future. The waiting to find out if he was signed by the Cubs killed me a little bit,
Mhm. Yeah.
but I was definitely excited and I'm hoping that he has a good year again. And if so, it's definitely a win for us.
I
100%.
know like last year he did pretty good with the Cubs. I'm like,
Hmm.
when I saw him do good last year, I'm like, you could have just done that with the Dodgers his final year. Well, cool this being good, but now he's like it hurts seeing good. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what is going on? I
He
guess it's
needed a
the
change of
slump.
scenery. He needed
I
a change of
know, like
scenery. He
it's I don't
needed
know
some
if that's a
Chicago
change of
winter.
scenery is so different, but I'm just like, you give us that energy when you're in the final year, but like
Yeah.
I hope he does that again, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually in the slump. Like sometimes he'll have one good year, then one bad year the next year. So it
Right.
always depends
We're
on,
hoping that doesn't happen this year, but we'll see. We'll see.
yeah,
Hopefully we get all
hopefully.
the belly bums that we can ask for.
I know I probably bet like 35 home runs this year.
I hope so. That'd be great.
So maybe he'll have a little Aaron Judge moment like he did
Oh my
last year.
gosh, that would be
So
amazing.
that would
That'd
be
be
pretty great if he
awesome.
had a little Aaron Judge. But
Yes.
who do you think would win the World Series this year? I honestly don't know. Like it's still up in the
I
air
don't
since we're
know.
still in spring training. But what is kind of your guesses?
I don't know. I mean, you see the Dodgers now, and they're almost just unfair. Their entire roster is good. But again, like the Brewers, they tend to choke. So who really knows what's going to happen? I think everybody looking at it, like at people's rosters on paper, think it's going to be the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But then there is that, factor of will they choke again? What's gonna happen? And you never know. There could be teams that surprise you. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know at this point. We'll see how the season starts to play out, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I don't know if I have a good answer for that.
yeah, it's kind of hard to say since it's
Yeah.
early on in spring training.
Right.
The season doesn't start until a couple more weeks, so we still have time to kind of get used to it. It's mostly, minors playing in spring training, so it's a
Yep.
really old, like younger players. But I'm kind of biased with this answer by saying the Dodgers will probably win. So
Yeah.
a Dodger fan, of course, it's a little biased. But and plus, we had pretty good offseason. Like I
Yeah.
know I received a lot of texts from people that said that their Dodgers stole everybody, which is kind of true. They kind of
Yeah.
took Otani and some of those guys. But then, like, I'm like, well, they kind of made those offers. They just chose to go there. It's not really stolen. I mean, it
They
depends who you
got
are.
everybody.
Yeah, it
They
depends who you
acquired
are.
everybody.
But it's like we didn't get everybody. We lost some people. I can admit that. That wish we gotten
Yeah.
some people. But of course, during this off season, and of course in the postseason, Clayton Kershaw, of course, loves to drink the Dodgers in off season rather than
Yep.
regular season, which is really the worst time. I always get so nervous when he pitches in that postseason because who knows what you would do. I remember I think it was last year when he got taken out in the first like 2 or 3 innings. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, like this is I guess a great way to start the game. Like
Yeah.
so it's like
I don't know why that happens to you guys.
I know I'm just like just never trust Kershaw to throw it in the
Yeah.
offseason. Just never trust him.
Keep him to the regular season.
Yeah, just keep up for the regular season, see how he does, but never put him in the postseason because he's going to lose it either way. So
It's
it's
so
true
sad.
there. But I know you probably have received a lot of comments about this question. And of course, with Kyle Hendricks, a lot of people see your guys' last names. They're like, okay, are you guys related? But the real question is, are you guys actually related?
The age-old question. I get so many questions about this. Like, is he my brother? Is he my husband? He's not my husband. I'll confirm that. Not my husband. But what do you think?
I think he might be your cousin. I feel that
Okay. Okay. I like to keep this one close to the chest, I like to let people imagine.
one.
And
All
maybe someday
right.
I'll actually reveal the real answer, but it's kind of fun keeping people guessing.
Oh, all right. Now you got me going crazy around this question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
That's the goal.
I'll just get the cousin my top choice right now and see how things go
Okay.
with that
All
one.
right.
Well, hopefully one of these days we'll actually hear the answer from you. Hopefully, I'm not sure if we will, but who
We'll
knows?
see.
Something might come
We'll
out of
see.
it. But of course, you make amazing content about
Thank you.
MLB. You are a MLB ambassador, and you make all these content about MLB, Cubs, and different players. But how do you brainstorm different ideas in terms of making content?
It really just depends on what's going on in the social atmosphere and in the sports atmosphere. So when things happen like with Cody Bellinger, when we didn't know what was going on with him, I tend to find like trending sounds and then be figure out if I can implement that sound to something that's going on. So at the time, it was like the Law and Order sound was going on. So that was like a huge trending sound. So I was like, oh, well, I can do that with like me trying to figure out where Cody's going. So really just playing into the trends on social media, what people are talking about in the world of sports, what's going on, and then trying to like put my own spin on things so that it's not the same as everybody else. And I also like doing things where I give teams like personas. So I have something coming out soon that's MLB teams at a pool party and how they
Mm.
would act at a pool party. But like doing things like that is fun for me. And then I get to, use my creative my little creative brain up here and try to flex the creative muscles and see how I can make funny jokes come out of it and how I can personify these teams and make it relevant to what's actually going on in the sports world.
Yeah, and it's honestly one of my favorite content. It will be like when I
Thank
see like
you.
during the Cody Bellinger time zone, I was like, where is he gonna go? Like, is he coming back to California or is he gonna stay with the Cubs? I had a feeling he's gonna stay with the Cubs. I know a
Hmm.
lot of people treated it as, okay, is it the same speculation like Otani? I know Cody Bellinger signed later in the offseason.
Yeah.
So it took him longer to sign than
Yep.
most players. I know Blake Snell is still unsigned, which
I
is a
know.
little crazy to me.
Literally. Where is he going?
I know, like I know he received some offers. I forget which teams offered him contracts, but I
He
know
did
he's
just
fine.
post, I think he posted, was it on his story? Like just the eye emoji. And I'm
Really?
like, tell us what's happening.
I know, like I know a team offered like him a contract, but he wanted bigger money. I forget which
Yeah,
team,
of
but
course.
I think
We'll
he
have to
might
see
be
what
the
happens. I'm
Yankees.
like, I have no idea.
I
I
feel like
can't,
it might be the Yankees for some
I
reason.
hope not. I hope not.
But I think he gave him a couple $100 million, but he wanted more. I think that's kind of what.
Pocket change.
Yeah, nothing changed, nothing happened, but I think that's kind of what happened. I know like JD
Yeah,
Martinez is the same thing. I know a couple like most of the contracts are happening are so unsigned because they just want more money than what they're
I
offered.
know.
'Cause
It's like such late signings this
I
year.
know like Jody Votto, he just signed a minor league
I
contract with
know.
the Blue Jays, which was kind of crazy. I kind of thought he was
I
gonna be
know.
red for the rest of his career, but I'm like,
I kind of
huh.
like the Blue Jay move though. I'm not gonna lie. It's his
I
home
actually
team,
do
so
too. He's from
it
Canada,
fits.
so it's honestly a
Yeah.
great move for Canadians if they like
Yes.
Joey Votto.
Yes. It fits.
But as many people know, you do social media, filming, editing, etc. But what is kind of the toughest part for you in terms of, filming and editing all your videos that you film?
I think really just the time that it takes to do it. I also have a full-time job where I'm a content creator, so I'm making content all day, every day.
Mhm.
So finding the time to do my own thing outside of my full-time job, and then also having that creative energy to do that, because if I'm making content all day, that takes a lot of energy and a lot of, flexing again those creative muscles and trying to come up with things for my personal after work or, in between or like whenever. Um, I think that's probably the toughest part, just being able to keep up that energy and have time to do it.
Mhm.
I love doing it. It's so fun, but it definitely is time consuming.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like as someone who's
Yeah.
do so many things in terms of content creation, like of course with working different jobs, I work three
Yeah.
part-time jobs.
Oh
And
man.
so when balancing all these things I do, I'm just like, how can I actually make time for myself?
I know.
It's
It's
like because it
exhausting.
takes so many hours, it is exhausting, like you said.
Yeah.
Like it's like every when you get home from work or whatever you're doing, you're just like, I just want to go to bed and watch
I
baseball.
know. I
Like
know. Exactly. Exactly. But instead you have to sit on couch, watch baseball, and then make content about the baseball.
I know. It's honestly a fun job to just make it
It
about
is.
baseball though, because
It
you
is.
love baseball, make content about it. It's like you don't even
Yeah.
feel like it's actually a job. It's like a hobby.
No. It's fun.
And to make money from it, I'm like, this is like the best thing ever to happen in my life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
make money
exactly.
from it. It's
Exactly. Make money doing something that you love.
I know it's honestly the best thing ever. I know there's certain criteria in terms of making money from it, but if you're making money in terms of doing making content for people to actually watch it, I'm just like
Yep.
Just give me the money and the followers and the viewers, like just so I can just quit my job and do something that I actually
Yeah,
want.
right.
But what is kind of like the first kind of step or your opinion to become a successful content creator?
Honestly, just post. I think that getting your stuff out there is step one, because if you don't do that, then you have no chance of ever becoming successful in that area. And I think that a lot of people are afraid to do that because like they're afraid they'll be judged. They're afraid that people won't like it, but you never know until you try.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that like just get the courage to just post. I think that's number one. And then you'll see what you never know what could happen. I had no idea. And then I started posting and here we are now. And I get to make fun content with my favorite baseball team. So I think just post. Just do it.
That is honestly the best thing. Like you were literally like living my dreams. Like to work with their MLB team. I know LA's across the country. I know I get all
Yep.
those comments. A girl from East Coast, like in a West Coast team, which is,
Yep.
something you don't see often. But
No.
with working in baseball is honestly the best thing ever. And to make content about it, it's
Yeah.
something is rewarding. But I know a lot of people are like, okay, like that's weird. Like, why are you making content about baseball or in general? I'm just like, because
Yeah.
it's fun. Like, it's
Yeah. And
rewarding. And I know
you
a
get
lot of people
over it,
connect
you
with
know? You get over thinking about people's opinions and you just learn to have fun with it. I
Because
think
of
the
course,
first
making content that's relatable is honestly like
yeah.
you're just relating with yourself about
Yeah.
90% of the time.
Exactly. Exactly. So just
But
be yourself and start posting.
right, just start from there, move on.
Yep.
Depends on how much you want to post. I know every content creator is different. You
Hmm.
post one or twice a day or once a week. Every content creator
Yeah.
is different. But of course, for
Yep.
posting, that's the first step to really get there. To kind of, who knows, it
Yes.
might get a million views on the first try. Very rare,
Exactly.
but
But it could
honestly,
happen.
but work to wrap up this episode, like how can people connect with you and your amazing content?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Caitlin_Hendricks, Caitlin with a C, and then on Twitter/X, it's at Caitlin Hendricks, and Hendricks is spelled with an X because Twitter won't let me have my full name. So you can find me on all those platforms, and that's where I'll be.
Maybe a mix of a Kyle Hendricks, who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know, who knows? But thank you so much, Caitlin, for joining us on today's episode. I love
Of
all the
course.
content you are making about
Thank
baseball
you.
and different sports are going on. I definitely had to do something with you mid-season, see how baseball's going. Maybe
Yes.
we'll look up some of our expectations and opinions on how the World Series ideas are going.
Hmm.
But thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you joining us and taking the time to
Of
chat.
course. Thank you so much for having me. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank
Same
you.
here, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.